Good morning, everybody. I am very sorry that I was tardy today. I was actually hosting my own team calls closeout, which was super specific to our company. I was thinking, oh, should I just have everybody kind of be on this? But because this is so generalized for just network marketing closing out tips, I wanted to take my team aside and give them like super specifics. So if you are on this, you are obviously in network marketing. Okay. And so there is a lot of excitement that happens at the end of our month. Okay. And so your numbers could all be zero right now, but there's so much that you can absolutely achieve your goals. And the great thing about network marketing is that it is not a time business. It's not a clock in, clock out business. It's not like, oh, it's going to take me, there's averages and stuff like, oh, it takes the average person over 7 years to reach the top of the comp plan. There's this or that. There's all these statistics and all these time averages. But I will share that it's really up to, and when you watch people flying through the comp plan, they're taking massive action. Okay. This is an action-based business. And so this is one of the reasons I love month end is because the way the human brain works and the human urgency works is if I give you a week to clean your house, some type A people will clean their house, in the first day or set up a plan or whatever, but you will probably clean it in the last 2 hours before the deadline. That's just how the human brain works. If you relate to that, or if that's you, put a 0 in the chat, okay? So what I love is I feel like it wakens people up. Anybody that maybe last month or earlier this month that said, oh yeah, I would be interested in, doing this. Yeah. I want to do it. March is my month. And then we're getting to the end of the month. It's a perfect time to follow up with someone and say like, hey, this is it. Okay. So I'm going to go down my month checklist and things that I personally do. And that's going to be what I'm sharing with you guys. This is a little difficult to do because every single person that's on this is partnered with a different company. So it's just super generalized, and so some of the stuff I say might not necessarily apply to you and your company. So just kind of, go between the lines of like what it entails. Okay. So the first thing I do is I look at our bonus structures. So I will look at, okay, how close am I to the next tier of bonuses? For us, it's personal volume related. So I'm like, okay, I'm very close to this tier. Okay. So then I know, okay, I want to be doing things and creating action based on what that goal is. So this is all about setting micro goals for yourself. So I would set a personal goal. I would set a team goal. I would set a customer goal. I would set, and whether or not that was your goal all month long, now is your time to execute it. And I am big on, yes, social media. That is how I operate majority of my business, but I do a lot in person. So just like this beautiful book suggests, mine's starting to get really beat up because I'm living in it, loving it. I will go, okay, I need to make sure at least once a week I'm meeting with someone in person. You guys, last week, I don't think it's a shocking thing that I ended up enrolling 12 partners by the 15th of the month, distributors, reps, whatever you want to call them, because I was in massive action. So I'll tell you why that really helps you. Okay. Massive action, it gives you a different energy. It gives you a different level of confidence. You operate different, you move different, people watch you different. So not only are you going to these things now, and look, you're looking at the rest of your week, you got on this call because you want the closeout tips. This is my tip. Get out of your house, go physically meet with somebody, invite someone to coffee, invite someone to wine night, invite someone over to demonstrate your products. Like, fill up your calendar this week. Like, that's up to you. Like, you are in charge of your calendar. Whether you go, oh, I just know, you're letting your calendar control your life, or you're going to be the one making things happen. Okay. So get things on your books this week, fill it up. And if you have one thing on the book, you guys, the magic in our business, it lies in the work that we do that we weren't planning on doing. Like that's where the magic is. Okay. So write this in your notes. Okay. In-person events, in-person meetups, like dates, I call them dates, reaching out and messaging. Okay. And social media output. If someone is typing, will you type that in the chat? Because I have a feeling people are going to be like, what was the third one? What was, what was the second one? So in-person events, in-person dates, reach outs, and social media output. Okay. These are all very crucial, especially this week. Okay. And the way people's brains work is if you posted about, well, let's have you write down this too. Know what your company's incentives are for this month. Do you know all of your company's incentives for this month? Okay. Make sure you write them down. Now, when was the last time you reminded your audience about whatever your company incentive is? Okay. So, like for me, for example, today I'm going to post about last call and I'm going to list them out in a carouseling post so that people can scroll through, read, see, decide for themselves if they're like, oh yeah, okay, I want to participate in this. I don't want to miss out. It's ending soon. Like that urgency, that natural urgency of the month is very crucial. So make sure you are posting about it. But then also, I'm not just going to go, oh, I have 6 prospects. I posted it in my stories. They all saw it. I'm not going to go, oh, they saw it. I'm then going to go and take a little link because you guys know the paper airplane, that's the icon on the bottom of all of your posts. Basically anything on our social media that we have is linkable with the URL. So I'm going to take that, whether they're, whether I have their Instagram or not. Let's say a few of them I met at a birthday party this weekend. I am going to take that little paper airplane icon. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to write up a little note. Hey, Sarah, I know we just met. We haven't got to connect on the phone. Just so you know, I know we talked a little bit about money. Here is the da 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 da. I'm going to send it to her. Now it's a post I did. So yeah, it's going to work for all my audience and people that maybe have never even talked to me, but it's also going to be something I use how I'm following up with people and what I'm sharing with them. Okay. So then that way, if they do come over and they click the link and it's someone that I just met or, whatever, they'll scroll through it, but they also are exposed then to the rest of, my content. And it might be enough to go like, okay, you know what? Yeah, I am going to say that I'm interested. Okay. So it's double edged. It's the same piece of content. It's the same idea. You're just now putting it into multiple areas. Okay. And so this is just one way to help you think smarter and not harder. Okay. Because you don't have to keep recreating these things. Okay. So in-person event, get something on your book this week. Okay. And if you have a demonstratable product, use that product, demonstrate that product. Okay. And on as honestly as many people as possible, even if you've already hit your goal for this month. That's kind of one of my pet peeves. And people are like, oh, I hit my goal. I'm good. I'm like, wait, so you just go on cruise control? Like, have you hit your biggest goal? Like I have big goals for myself. And so I don't let the calendar dictate how hard I'm working. I know it dictates how hard other people work. And I love that. And I'm excited, but I'm always on an operating flow. Okay. So even if you posted about the incentives, in the promotions or whatever yesterday, do you guys know how the human brain works? Because your audience or whoever you're talking to, your prospect, they've probably seen hundreds of pieces of content in between yours. And if you post again today, and I'm just going to be frank with you guys, I've literally just copy pasted the same exact caption on multiple pieces of content for a week in a row. I just rotate the same two. It makes my life easier. It's hitting completely different audiences. And yeah, maybe a couple people are saying both, but they're not going to nail me to a cross and crucify me over it, right? They're not like going to be like, if anything, it might give them like, oh, wow, that seems simple enough. I could copy paste something. And then also, it just goes into different algorithms. So I want people, when you have a good caption that encompasses all the things that you want, attach it to different pieces of content because they literally go into different algorithms. Different people see it. Okay. And so all about the incentives, all about the promotions, all about how your products work, all of like before and afters, testimonials, like those are all great, valuable things that you cannot share enough of on your page. We don't want to come to your page and see a catalog. Like, yeah, you want to integrate yourself in there, but on your stories and in your highlights, absolutely. If you don't have a before and after highlight or a testimonials highlight, hi, you have homework that you can be working on for the next few days. Reach out to your customers and ask them for a testimonial and pictures and make a little highlight for that. Rachel Hollis shared, and I know I've shared this on a Habits Are Hot or 90 Day Habits call before, but I'm gonna share it again. So Rachel Hollis, I had the opportunity of watching. You guys remember her? I feel like she was hot, and then she like kind of left, and then now she's kind of like back in the game a little bit. But she shared that she was doing this, different events, and she's like, nothing sells tickets to events like video of people walking out of events. And like that will sell the tickets more than anything I could be posting is the testimonials of the people that have just experienced or currently experiencing whatever it is you're selling. So that for us is our testimonials. You can even ask your partners for a testimonial of you as a leader. Okay. I do this at least once a quarter. I'll go through and I'll ask my team, like, hey, can you write me a review as a leader? And I'm like, it better be 5 stars though. Just kidding. But I will ask that. And then when I say, I'll do like a post and say, if you are considering partnering with me, here's a handful of things that my partners have had to say. And if someone's considering joining you at all, like especially right now, because they know there's some sort of urgency because you've set the tone of that urgency, like, oh, make sure you get it in March, is ending. And even if the company, I'm going to go off on a tangent now. If your company has no incentive right now for people to join you right now, you can still create that urgency. Okay. Whether you have an opportunity call, you have a team contest that you start. So that was something that, because our company, the company I partner with, didn't always for the last 7 years have an incentive to join every single month. That just hasn't been the case. So sometimes what we'll do is I'll grab another leader and I'll say, we are going to offer a training for anyone that joins this month. And it's a training. But it doesn't really have to be like this huge valuable thing. It just gives you a reason to say, hey, just so you know, if you join this month, you get this. And that urgency helps someone make the decision. You're kind of helping them make the decision because you're like giving them options and they're like, oh, well, that sounds good. I will partner with you right now or join or whatever the terms that you use are. So that really can help you too. But if your company has an incentive right now, run with that so you don't have to be creative and reinvent the wheel or add too much to the plate. So that I just wanted to state those options just in case the company you're partnered with doesn't have an incentive right now. Doesn't mean you can't. You could even do like a contest. I mean, you could do whatever for anyone that's in March, they get access to X, Y, and Z. You could team up with other people. You can, and there's like, you got to be careful with the FTC, right? So you can't say, if you join, I will give you blah, blah, blah. You can't, that's like against FTC regulation, but you can say, this is for people that join in March. So if you join in March, you can access this contest or, whatever. And you post about it, but you also go and individually message those people. I will tell you that the people that I voice note tend to be the people that do enroll with me. And just because, if someone's really interested, you guys, they want a voice note from you. And I know a lot of times people, oh, I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to be too excited. And I'll tell you right now, for every one person that is like off put by your enthusiasm, if you're not enthusiastic enough, you're going to miss out on hundreds of people. So you don't like get in your head like that. Okay. So hopefully that kind of helps make sense. Okay. So in-person event, hopefully you're putting that on your calendar. It's an excellent closeout tip. I call them fail safes. Okay. So I know if I have events on my books, those are fail safes. That's for sure going to be a volume mover, even if only one person comes. They're going to get my undivided attention, and that is a fail safe. So if you would like fail safes in your business, plan in-person events. And I get being busy. I had 3 jobs when I started this, and my biggest thing and my biggest regret was I wish that I would have had a rhythm of events on my books. So I wish I would have taken every single Thursday night from 6 to 8 p.m. and just blocked it off so that I had time for delegated to my business. Because that put me in the butt a lot was I was so overpacked. My kid had, Finley had a crazy schedule. We weren't even in sports yet. So our weekend, but I was in weddings. I was busy every single Friday, Saturday, Sunday for years. Like, I mean, you'd book right now for 2026, like I was booked years out on my weekends. So I had no flexibility there. And I worked, but for the housewives, I worked behind the chair. Like, I just wish I would have thought smartly to have something like this to go, okay, every Thursday night, I'm marking out for my business, whether that means I'm going to do a power hour by myself, whether that means I'm going to have a client or someone I meet that's like, yeah, I would like to hear more about this. When the heck did I have time for it? And if that's your issue, learn from my mistake and put something weekly on your calendar for the next 3 months and just set aside that time. So that's one of the best closeout tips you can do is rearrange your future calendar so that whatever you're feeling right now, if you feel behind or like you're never going to hit your goals, you don't ever want to feel like that again. So you make sure you have your fail safes set up in your schedule. And then that way you're going to be way more likely to hit your goals because you're going to have like little things and like safety zones that, if I just get to Thursday, I can invite you to Thursday, you to Thursday, you to Thursday. And if you can come this Thursday, come next Thursday. And if you can come next Thursday, bring a friend the next Thursday. And that's how people really grow their businesses in person, is not just by one event, it's by the rhythm of the events. Okay. So hopefully that really helps you, maybe blows your mind a little bit, helps you expand or think big picture. Maybe you're on a team culture where they don't do in-person stuff and they don't preach that. You're complete. It'd be like getting an iPhone and only using, the camera, the calculator, the apps it comes with. I'm showing you how to download new apps and help really, really expand what you can do with this thing, right? And so doing the in-person stuff, super, super crucial, key. And I'm telling you, it's going to make you stand out to the next person that does it. Okay. And it's so good for your soul because when you're doing it, you get to share about something else. Because right now, most likely, you sharing your opportunity or your products is your face talking to your camera. Agree? So when you're at an event, it's now showing people a whole different thing. Now they're watching you doing something. That's different for your audience to see. And that kind of can spark interest and spark other things. Okay. And so it's not just a face, on a wall, on a screen talking at you. It's like you actually doing it and showing people what it looks like. So I think the more basic you can make it, the more someone will watch you and be like, oh, I can do that. So that's why I'm like, don't go over the top. Don't have this fancy party. Don't have a fancy charcuterie. I literally want to see you on the bathroom floor or on the kitchen sink or at the kitchen counter, the kids running around in car pickup line. I want to see you doing makeup out on the picnic benches with the kids playing, like whatever it is that you sell or do or whatever. Let's see it in its truest, most raw form. It might not be aesthetically pleasing, but I'm telling you right now, it's going to make people behind the screen go, oh, I could do that. And that's what you want. You want to evoke that emotion out of people. Okay. So the more you can do that this week, the better your closeout will be. And then the stronger you're going to be starting off April. Okay. And then reach outs. Does anybody watch Buying Beverly Hills on Netflix? I can't watch a Netflix show until I've done my prospecting for the day. That's like my reward. Okay. So that's how I operate. But I will always take away something that I can bring back to my team. So like literally we were watching Buying Beverly Hills. I really could care less about the drama and all that on there. I'm like, how the heck did they sell these homes? Like, what are they saying to their people? What is their cadence? I love like studying salespeople. And so one of the guys said, every single day he has his team talk to 5 people they know, 5 people they don't know, and follow up with current customers. So that could just be like, hey, just wanted to check in, see how you're doing. It doesn't have to be, do you like the products? Do you want to buy more? It's just schmoozing. Like your salespeople, schmooze your people. Send them a random gift card. Tell them that you thought they looked so beautiful in their stories yesterday. Like schmooze your people. It's not just only business, like that one track mind, sale. Like the art of selling is relationships. And so are you kind of harnessing and fostering and, really growing those customers with those relationships with your customers, and your team. So anyway, but I loved the 5 people 5 people you don't. I have never said it like that, but I'm like, do reach outs. And to me, I go, okay, well, you're going to obviously connect with some people you've already connected with, and you're going to follow up with some new people or vice versa. So loved that. Okay. And we do have a 333 method. I completely jacked it from another girl I saw share on a social media mastermind with Eric Worre. It was really good. So I'm going to share it here for you guys. Let me see if I could just kind of show you. I'm going to share my screen real quick. Okay. So if you're looking like I want to grow, I want to grow and I don't know where to find people. Is that an issue for you or on your team? Type a 0 in the chat if you feel like I just don't know where to find people. Okay, great. Cable. Okay. Okay. So for me, I'm a foster. I am a foster mom, special needs mom, and whatever. So I am going to go to I'm also a CP mom. Okay. So this is where you need to know your niche. And I have definitely shared about this on like my work calls. You guys, it's all kind of the same things over and over. Like you'll learn that like these steps really, once you kind of learn them, they're just over and over. So some of the things will be repeats to you guys. But okay. So knowing your pillars, knowing your personality, knowing what your interests are, knowing what you share about, what do you talk about on your feed? This is your pillar, like the things you're sharing about, the things you care to talk about is your pillar. So for me, one of it is cerebral palsy awareness. So I'll go to this page, for example. So for you, if it's knitting, and you share some knitting tips or sourdough bread making tips, you're going to go to other pages that share those tips because that's what you post about. So that's probably who you're going to attract. Okay. Does that make sense? We have branding trainings if that doesn't, but so let's say I'll go to this post today, and it's funny because the first person actually is one of my market partners, but I will tap on it. So I'm going to a page that I have a pillar. I'm going to their post, and now I'm going to see who has the same interest as me. They're liking this post. We probably are going to have something very substantial in life in common, like cerebral palsy. Okay. So you want it to be a deep rooted thing. So if you're a cancer survivor, that's something that becomes part of someone's identity. If you are infertile, that becomes part of your identity. If you have twins, that's something that becomes like, do you know what I'm saying? Like deep things. Okay. But it also can be like, I mean, Love is Blind. Honestly, if you post about Love is Blind, like either it's deep or someone's really passionate about it. And it can be politics. This day and age, honestly, a lot of people use politics. Okay. So, okay. So let's say I'm going to find someone. And look, she posts a lot about CP. So I'm going to go, okay, I like this. I'm going to heart it. I'm going to like, so I go to the first 3 posts. Oh, wait. Okay. Well, I kind of want to be, okay. So, so you basically go to their first 3 posts and you heart, and you comment, comment, comment. Then you can go to their stories and you can heart 3 of their stories. She posts about mental health. That's great. Okay. Now, in her notifications in her phone, that's the 333. So I found a person that we have something most likely in common. And I did 3 likes, 3 comments, and 3 story hearts. Now, when she opens her phone, Christina Smallwood will have 9 notifications in her notification box. You think she's not going to be like, who is Christina Smallwood? So she's going to tap on that, come over and see that I too am posting about cerebral palsy, more likely to follow, more likely to engage. And it did not require me sending one hey girl message. Okay. There is ways to get people's attention on this thing. And that's really ultimately your goal. Is to get their attention without spamming them or blowing them up. Okay, so that we call that the 333. You can do that for as many people as you want. I do recommend making sure I have a whole section in my book at the end of each week where I write down everyone I 333'd that week. And so that way I also know that that's a way for me to stay organized. My DMs go crazy, especially with automation now. It's a bit of a mess, but that's how I stay organized. So then I know, okay, I have their Instagrams. So then on the next week, when we say follow up Friday or whatever day you decide to follow up, I know I'm going to go back to all these people and probably 333 them again. So that's just a way and it works great. Like I said, I got this tip from another girl that's literally crushing it on social media, and her team is as well. They're growing like crazy. And just think about it. Like, most people do not want to send a hey girl message, and like most people will go, ugh, I like it. So this is a great way to kind of like begin attracting that audience and growing, and you're loving on other people's content, and ultimately that's what people want. People post so that people love on it. And so you're doing just exactly that. Okay, so I wanted to share that. And you can click follow. Yeah. So it just depends for me. Like if they're like, if we have like 2 or 3 pillars in common, like they're a twin mom, a CP mom, I'm follow, like we have the same exact things in common. So sometimes I will. It just depends. Like that one, I wasn't really paying attention to everything that I was tapping right there because I was using it as a demonstration. But I tend to follow if there is multiple pillars in common, not just one. Okay, so this is where knowing your pillars, and those are basically the 2 or 3 things that you talk about on repeat. That is not the product you sell. That is not the company you're partnered with. It's you as an individual human. You go to brunch. What are the 2 or 3 things that you want to talk about with your friends? Those are your pillars. Okay. So, but end of the month, I follow up with every single prospect. And I do I do follow. Once we're talking about something, I usually will click follow. That's like for me when I start to click follow. I feel like following is such an interesting thing right now. Like I have probably the last 6 market partners I've signed up, watched my stories, we've connected, we enjoy each other, not even following each other. Like my husband, I got on a new app and he's like, you aren't following me. I'm like, I don't even think about following. Like I just think, oh, I'm talking to you. Like I see you, I have a cab access. I don't know. So anyway, I don't know if that helps, but okay. And then the last one, social media output. I'm going to challenge you to go live every single day. And you don't have to go live and, beat a dead horse and talk about your opportunity or whatever every single day for the rest of the week. But I recommend it. I recommend it because it's an opportunity for you to talk about the way you are working your business, the things you are learning in your business, why you want your opportunity to get shared with somebody. Who are you looking to bring on as a future partner? sharing those things make it very you. Yes, and you can show your passion. I definitely would recommend going live with a sideline, and someone that is as just as, you know, your passions match or your energies match. I'm really big on that. And maybe they have a completely different story. So, like for me, for example, I don't go live with other top leaders. And there's a reason for that, because odds are someone watching isn't going to go, oh, yes, I can do that. They're going to be like, holy moly, they talk like professionals. I can't do that. I like to go live with brand new people who you can tell have no idea what the heck they're doing, because that is relatable to someone that's watching, that's going to go, oh, I could do that. Which again, that's the number one emotion that you want to evoke in people is, if she can do it, I can do it. That's the most powerful emotion in our network marketing business. So to be on your social media and try to make it look like something that nobody can do, or you're an expert, that could be what's maybe going wrong in your business. You want to showcase as much of you can do this as possible. And it's not just saying you can do this, because if your content is perfect and you never mess up and you seem to know everything, I have girls on my team who will literally, I don't have a product handy. Well, let's say this. So let's say this is a product that we sell. I have girls on my team that will literally be like, so this is the volume, da 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 da, and it blah blah blah, and blah blah blah. And they purposefully read from the bottle because anyone watching goes, okay, I could do that. And they recruit a lot because they are appealing to the simplicity of, you don't need to know. But if I'm like, okay, so this was formulated in 2009 and it has 27% blah, 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 right? If I'm the expert of this, no, it might be impressive to other people that are in the business, but it's not going to attract people to want to do this. Does that make sense? So not that you need to be an amateur, but make sure you're highlighting and talking to other people that are new. And this is what my girlfriend said to me, and it blew my mind. It was so good. And it was like, if you're going to have a baby, if you're pregnant right now, you're going to have a baby. You don't want to talk to someone that has a 10-year-old. You want to talk to someone who has a newborn. And that like blew my mind because it is so true. So if you're just joining or you're thinking about joining, you don't necessarily want to talk to the expert. You want to talk to the person that's like just now doing it. What do they have to say? And so we try to feature a lot of our new girls on calls and things so that people can feel their energy, see how they're doing it. It's just people move different. It's like your husband or your mom or whoever can tell you something 100 times, but when someone that has influence over you says it, it hits different, And so no one's going to be more influential than someone that's brand new doing it. Okay. So if that's you're brand new and you're doing it, go live and talk about how you don't even know how you're doing it. And if you can do it, other people can do it. Okay. I swear that's when we recruited like crazy, was when our results weren't even there. Our businesses weren't there, but we just knew we wanted to do it and we were doing it. So anyway, okay. So those are the 4 things I would definitely focus on this week. I don't even know how long I've been talking, probably a long time. So I've lost track of the day already. But hopefully this was helpful for you guys. Again, I'm trying to make it super general across the board for all the different companies that you guys in this community are partnered with. If I see a couple girls on my team, so I just want to say, if you're on my team or I'm on 8 Girl, I just did one that was so good, very specific to us right now. But this was, hopefully really powerful and helpful for you, but just what you can only improve what you measure. So if you set a volume goal for yourself and a team goal for yourself, and then you do all these things, track it, hit the goal, set it. I want to get 2 more customers and another rep before the month is over, whatever it is for you, set it. and do it. Do it this month. And the more steps that you do and those more action, remember, it's all action based. So the more action, we have girls going for huge ranks this month that are like, right as of right now, they need 10,000 more in volume. Okay. So that's why I'm like, if you're at 0 right now, there's girls going for 10,000 in volume right now. And they're like, their heads are down. But guess what? They have action steps planned. They're going live. They have events. They're going from one house to the next. They're literally like, and so it's an action-based business. And that's the beauty of it. It could be the hard part if you don't have a lot of time, but there's a lot that you can be doing. Like I said, 333. I mean, I know you can do that from a desk. I know you can do that from the restroom. So there's ways. Okay. So anyways, hope you guys have a fabulous closeout. Thank you for tuning in to Coffee and Closeout with Christina. We are so excited. Make sure tomorrow, you guys, we have a workshop going down. Haley and I are hosting all about our automation and how we've been using it to increase our sales, increase our engagement. And so excited about that. We've posted about it, I think, everywhere you can find 90-day habits. Habits are hot. And my personal Instagram, I posted about it as well. So make sure you're a part of our workshop. You have to register even if you can't make it live and you want access to the replay. It's going to be really, really good. So, all right, guys, hope you have a wonderful week. Mwah.